How would you describe the experience of working in this film?
Magical.
So original. You come to us for original.
I'm really
takes.
creative.
You know, I had pretty high expectations, and it superseded all those expectations. So it was it felt like a once in a lifetime experience.
Except maybe it's going to be once or 5 times in a lifetime.
If people like it,
If people
it might
like
be
it.
a few more times. Yeah.
So were you a fan of Harry Potter's before this movie?
I think we were both fans. In fact, all of many of the actors in the cast were fans.
I've never met anyone who it hasn't touched in some ways, either the films or the books.
Yeah. But what happens is if you're a fan of something and then you get to enter that world, you don't want to be the ones to screw it up. So it kind of it galvanized us to work hard, but also J.K. Rowling and David Yates and David Heyman were so sort of lovely at making us feel comfortable, not feel too sort of terrified by the prospect.
And was it difficult to work in a CGI environment? Was it challenging for you?
You know, going into it, we thought that there'd be loads of green screen and CGI, but it was amazing how much we got to work with practical objects. You know, when the Murtlap bites Jacob in the neck and then crawls up, or my arm goes flying across the room and Eddie catches it by the tail. We had this beautiful, disgusting, sort of gelatinous rat prop that we worked with, and so Dan did wonderful acting, trying to make it look like he was pulling it away from himself when really he was just wrestling it himself, and Eddie shook it a little to make it look like, you know, it was wiggling around in his hand, and all of that stuff was just so much more, it's just easier that way when you don't have to all agree to stare at the same point on the wall or something. And
we had puppeteers, and we had amazing puppets, like huge puppets that had been created specifically for it. We had a lot of stimulus.
So did you have a chance to meet J.K. Rowling? You did?
yeah.
We did, yeah. I met Jo just before we started filming, and what was amazing is because she hasn't written about these characters in a book, they're all in her imagination, but her imagination is so thorough that if you get to talk to her, all of us would just talk about the characters, and she has such a specific take on who they were that it was amazing to hear, because it was like you were playing someone real almost.
Yeah, she talks about the characters like she's a biographer, you know, that the detail that she could, you know, has about these characters in her mind is kind of uncanny. And she came to set, and when she arrived on set, we were like moths to a flame. We all just kind of flocked to her, and she has, I mean, obviously we're all just so thrilled to meet her, but she also has a kind of a really commanding presence, and you see it all the time when people meet her. They're quite drawn to her, and really meeting her as being in the presence of a true genius. So it was such a thrill to get to work with her, but kind of stressful for David, our director, because, you know, we'd drop our wands and whatever we're shooting and go and just want to hang out with her. So he'd have to wrangle us back to set to finish the scenes and stuff.
And do you think Harry Potter's fan will be happy with this movie?
We hope so. We're fans of Harry Potter ourselves, so we did the best that we could, and they've been so supportive of the whole process. I hope for them the film is what it was to us, which is returning to that world, the imagination of Jo, but with a whole new sort of context and a whole new set of creatures.
Yeah.
And by creatures I include ourselves.
We're the creatures too.